All right, what do we want to start with? Do we just want to go Krennic, Ninth Sister, and then State of the Galaxy?
I was thinking the other way around. I was thinking State of the Galaxy first.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to know because I like pulling it up on my computer while you're going through it. I just need to know what order I need everything in. Oh, you're dirty one. Oh, yeah.
All right. Link is out there.
Perfect. All right. I'll do this real quick, and then I'll give it a couple seconds. Three, two, one. Hello, my fellow barbarians. It is I, Rock, joined with my always lovely co-host MDA.
What's good? What's good?
Pretty much, like we said 2 podcasts ago, that damn old State of the Galaxy was going to come around right at the worst timing. So basically, we'll get into it. We'll go start State of the Galaxy. We'll talk about Ninth Sister, not Night Sister. I made that mistake already. Ninth Sister.
Like the number 9.
And then, yeah, the number 9. Yes. And then we'll get into the new Krennic Omni. So I guess we can go ahead and just start right into it. State of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I got the State of the Galaxy pulled up here, and honestly, I don't think we're going to touch on too much on this just because they said a lot without saying anything at the same time in typical CG fashion. Just kind of going through its Ninth Sister as well as other Inquisitors are coming, so good stuff. As we know, Conquest has started. Hope you guys are doing Conquest. If not, oh well. There's going to be 2 new ships coming to the game via a galactic chase. It is the First Order TIE Echelon, which is going to be a tank for the finalizer in the First Order, and the MG-100 Star Fortress SF-17. As you remember, the bombers that were in The Last Jedi for the Resistance. So basically, CG recognized that they can no longer rely on the plug-and-play Houndstooth to be the tank for these two fleets that have been begging for help. So they're finally giving them tanks. Don't have any kit reveals yet for them, but it's just good to see that there's at least a dedicated tank for them now. These fleets might actually get better as a result of it, because like all of these fleets have like only 3 or 4 ships, which is just really not enough to justify it as good or bad. They talked about the Razor Crest. It is going to be moving to a new permanent location, they said, around the launch of Conquest 14, so that'll be about 3 or 4 weeks from now. They'll let us know when the Razor Crest is going to be either unlockable by like an event, or if it's going to be farmable. We shall see.
It just says moving it to its farm location, and so that's very vague. And this can be one of many ways they can throw it on a node and just have you farm it that way. Or, I mean, shoot, I had someone saying that they like. I even said it this way, like I would fear that they do it kind of like a Wicket or like a Mother Talzin, where it just comes around once or twice a month, and you just get like 20 shards.
Yeah,
like that would. I'll be honest.
Unless you do refreshes or something, yeah, that would suck. But we'll see. And then CG went to clarify how Omicrons and how the hierarchy of characters are going to work. So in CG's mind, the power tier is at the bottom is Marquis / Galactic Chases. These are your Second Sisters, Iden Versios, Bad Batch, those characters. Anyone that's unlockable via packs is at the bottom tier. Journey Guide Conquest units are in that next tier. So that's Commander Luke Skywalker, Commander Ahsoka Tano, Darth Revan, those kind of characters. Galactic Legends are next. So SOKR, JML, C, and then Galactic Legends with Conquest counterparts. So Lord Vader and JMK are the two that kind of come there. And basically, that's, you know, while you should be able to jump up a tier or two depending on how well synergized your squad is and how well modded and how well geared and relic you have it. But they want this to kind of be the balance for it. So I know that there's been a lot of complaints with certain teams underperforming. I'm not going to get into specifics, but um, pretty much it's just, there's been some complaints about what should be what, and CG just kind of came out and clarified what they're intending. So that's that. And then last but not least, with Omicrons, I think one of the biggest things as a community ever since when Omicrons were released, we weren't really sure like what the intended upgrade is for an Omicron, and I don't really think CG gave us a great answer, but basically they just said they make characters better, like they move them up a tier. So like if you're at a Galactic Chase Marquee level, your Omicron should bring you and your respective team up a tier. So you go from like Marquee character to Journey Guide character and Journey Guide to GL. So you see like Boba and Starkiller, they jump up to the GL category, whereas someone like Chirpa Ewoks, they're beating teams that normally Journey Guide characters would beat. So that's kind of the rationale behind that. Was there anything else here in the State of the Galaxy that you saw that you wanted to point out?
They have a paragraph here where they're talking about investigating the balance issue and stuff like that. They also had like the small little paragraph about defense penetration. And so like it was weird. This State of the Galaxy was weird because they just threw like a lot of stuff at the end of it. It was like, oh, hang on, guys, I forgot about this. Here's something we can mention. Oh wait, here's another thing we can mention. Like it was
Yeah,
just kind of like they just kind of threw a bunch of stuff together at the end.
typical CG fashion, just waiting to the last
Yeah.
minute and then kind of saying nothing but saying everything at the same time.
Yep.
But
Uh,
that's that. We'll know more with the road ahead. I would imagine is going to be in the next at least 1 to 2 weeks. I know that there's a new in the data mines. They found a new title update is coming, so sometime within the next week or two, we should be getting the new road ahead, or at least a new update. So something should be coming from CG's ends. Um,
yeah.
so with that being said, we're going to jump into the Omicron for Director Krennic and the Ninth Sisters. So I guess real quick, let's just jump into Krennic's Omicron. Um,
Yeah.
and it is going to be going on his unique, and it is a Grand Arena Omicron. So the previous text said Director Krennic gains 10% crit damage for each debuffed enemy and 10% critical damage for each rebel enemy. If Death Trooper is present, he also gains these bonuses. While in Grand Arenas, Krennic gains plus 30% defense penetration, health, and offense. If Death Trooper is present, he also gains these bonuses. Whenever Krennic attacks, Death Trooper is called to assist, and his cooldowns reduced by 1. While allied Death Trooper is active, both Krennic and Death Trooper ignore taunt. So what was your thoughts here on the Krennic Omicron?
So when I was first reading through this, I was walking back from class and just trying to read through everything all at once. And I thought that this was on the leader at first. And so when I thought it was on the leader, my first thought was like, oh great, another just here's a trash kind of tune that's, gonna kind of make me like I'm not gonna have any versatility with this. I'm not gonna be able to throw this with anybody. But then, after rereading it, found it was on the unique, and honestly, I really like it. I don't think it's gonna be like super overpowered, but I mean, you have a lot of the unique makes it to where there's a lot of versatility, and you don't even really need Death Trooper in this because, I mean, shoot, if you mod Critic for crit damage, I mean, 10% crit damage for each debuffed enemy. That's 50%. I mean, if you're running with like Lord Vader or even Darth Vader, or even like with Vader and Mara Jade, I mean, someone's always going to be debuffed, so he's going to hit kind of hard or harder, I guess. I mean, if you're also someone that like went for SCE, like you already had to bring him the Relic 4, so like this is kind of a no brainer. And then even if you don't have good like M troopers, or say you have a decent Death Trooper and you have a lot of M troopers with them, I mean, running the two as a pair, it's going to be too bad either. So personally, I like it. I mean, because he's Empire. I mean, like I can like my whole thinking is like you can throw him with Lord Vader probably. Use it as an offensive team with Lord Vader. Try to like take on some stuff. I mean, shoot, I can even see this as like running like Grand Moff Tarkin lead with Krennic Death Trooper and just two random Empire. I mean, you can even run it with Palp Vader and Mara Jade. So I like it because there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. You got a lot of options that you can run with it. That's that's kind of my take. I just like its versatility.
Yeah. I was it's okay. I know it's
Yeah,
definitely like the first reaction was kind of mixed just because like Krennic obviously doesn't have the trooper tag, so you can't throw him with troopers. And it seemed like we were going to put our leftover troopers with Iden. And
yeah,
it looks like, and Death Trooper was kind of taken out of the typical Veers team, so it looked like he was going to stay with Iden. But I'm gonna be honest, I think Death Trooper is gonna be one of those that like if you don't have Iden and you have Krennic, this can work here. I don't think this is like knock your socks off great to where it
yeah.
has to pull it away from Iden, because from what I've seen, Death Trooper is great in the Iden team, but this is also pretty good too. I mean, I don't think this should be taken lightly. I mean, you have. And especially with Death Trooper synergy with Krennic, I mean, Krennic can't be critically hit. He gains turn meter whenever you damage Krennic. I mean, there's some nasty stuff, and Krennic can revive Death Trooper. Um, Reducing Death
The
Trooper's cooldowns, I mean, you can constantly be increasing the opposing team's cooldowns. And also, if you kill someone, you can be constantly putting out Death Mark or, anti revives. And
mm-hmm.
also, both of them can ignore taunt. I think that's one thing that like a lot of people are overlooking. Ignoring taunt is a pretty big deal. Um, as much as I think everyone's going to hate to hear this, but it is a reality that we could be in soon. If 3v3 ever comes back, I'm not gonna lie, I think this could be a nasty team with like Krennic lead, Shore Trooper, Death Trooper. I'm not gonna lie, that could be a really nasty team of just like you're not gonna be able to crit anyone. And Death Trooper, because Krennic already hits really hard. He's got decently high offense for a support, and there's going to be stuns. They're going to be reducing cooldowns. It's definitely. I think this is
Krennic
a
has
lot.
like days too, right?
Yeah, he's got days, and he increases cooldowns. And Krennic on his leads, which is a Zeta. You have unresistible ability blocks, protection recovery. Um, Again, and who knows, 3v3 may never come back, but I think it's one of those. If you went for C, I don't see why not to put it on, but I don't think I would go out of my way to put this on. But hey, we'll
Yeah.
see how it looks.
One other thing, 30% defense penetration and 30% offense is nothing to be taken light of. That's pretty nice,
Yeah.
especially for Death Trooper who already hits pretty hard. You're just making him hit even harder.
So, real quick, I'm gonna do some. I have a calculator here just to kind of um, show what that looks like, what 30% defense penetration looks like. So, Krennic is required at Relic 4 um, for C. So, Krennic, and the way that defense and all that works, let me. I'm gonna do some quick maths here. I have a math for how defense and defense penetration. So, Krennic has a defense. An arm or a resistance penetration stats of 217. So when we put that in, um, if we increase that by, so that's 25 to 39. So, pretty much, it's not going to be a lot, but it's one of those things with relics. Anyone with so a 20 per, or what was it? What was his increase? Was it a
30%.
30%? Okay, that'll increase it just a little bit more. So that means he'll go from ignoring 25% defense. So anyone who has an armor of 25%, he will be ignoring. That's an additional. That's plus 5% armor or resistance because he does special damage. That's 5% resistance increase, which is nothing to really sneeze at there. Just because Krennic's got decently high damage. I think unmodded. He's at almost 7 at Relic 4, that's 7,000 special offense. At Relic 4. And you add the extra defense penetration, you're going to get closer to that. And especially if you get him critting, he's got all that extra crit damage from his unique and the extra offense. I'm not going to lie, you can get Krennic hitting pretty hard. So this is nothing to sneeze at. So, but I also would not go out of my way to Omicron this. This is not anything, leaps and bounds better than the other ones. But hey,
I wouldn't go and gear these guys up just to put this Omicron on.
No, absolutely not.
No. Yeah. All right. Get into ready to go on to the next thing.
The ninth sister. So we got our second Inquisitor. She is going to be a tank, leader, Empire, unaligned force user, and Inquisitorius. A ruthless member of the feared Inquisitorius who will stop at nothing in her hunts for the Jedi. On the basic, deal physical damage to target enemy, then deal physical damage again, dealing 40% more damage. Inflict 1 stack of Purge to a maximum of 6 on target enemy for the rest of the encounter. If the target is a Jedi, this inflicts a 2nd stack of Purge and cannot be resisted. Special number 1, deal physical damage and consume all stacks of Purge on target enemy. For each stack of Purge removed, inflict that many damage over time effects on target enemy for 1 turn, and Ninth Sister gains that many heal over time effects for 1 turn. If the target is a Jedi, dispel all their buffs. Special number 2, which is a Zeta, deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict daze, defense down, and potency down for 2 turns, which can't be resisted by Jedi. Ninth Sister gains taunt for 2 turns. For each enemy inflicted with Purge and damaged by this ability, Ninth Sister gains 10% defense stacking to a maximum of 50% for 2 turns. The leader ability, which is a Zeta and an Omicron. Allies are immune to speed limiting effects. Whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, all Inquisitorius allies gain 2% potency and tenacity stacking for the rest of the encounter. If that enemy is a Jedi, they have a 50% chance to gain a stack of Purge, maximum of 6 until the end of the encounter. And while in territory wars, all Empire allies gain 20% defense, and all Inquisitorius allies are immune to ability block and stun. And the unique: for each other Empire ally present at the start of the battle, Ninth Sister gains 5% defense, max health, and tenacity. These effects are doubled for Inquisitorius allies. Each time another Empire ally is damaged by a critical hit, she gains taunts and 50% critical avoidance for 1 turn, and Empire allies gain 20% critical avoidance for 1 turn. If the ally is also an Inquisitorius, Ninth Sister recovers 5% health. So what is your thoughts here on the newest Inquisitor coming to the game?
Tons of anti-Jedi. It's like almost the basic had something to do with Jedi. The special had something to do with both of the specials had something to do with Jedi. Even the lead looks like anti-Jedi Knight Luke.
Yeah, I know. The whatchamacallit, the second sister was definitely anti-Jedi Revan. This one is definitely anti-Jedi Luke.
And basically, it looks like you're going to want both leads just because, and which kind of looks, depending on if they make this thing, give us 5 tunes for this Inquisitorius squad, and that could be kind of nice because we've never really seen a whole lot of teams where 2 really good leads and you can kind of mix and match. I mean, the only other factions I can think of that are kind of like that are like Night Sisters and Jedi, but like everything else, it's one lead or
I was thinking bounty hunters as well. They've
bounty
got.
hunters. Yeah, bounty hunters are like forgot about those guys.
I
But
definitely like this lead better than
yeah,
Second Sisters. I'm not gonna lie, Second Sisters was bad. Um, I think like hers was one of those that sounded great on paper, but just like in practice, it just was not good. This one, I think you could actually run this, and this actually isn't too bad. Like, you know, eliminating the speed reduction it's not nothing. That's pretty cool. Um, and I think it's one of those like increasing the potency and tenacity. It's something that doesn't sound like a lot, but like especially if you're going up against Jedi Knight Luke lead, Jedi Knight Luke gains turn meter at the end of every turn. So at the end of every turn, they're gaining 2% potency and tenacity, and if Yoda's in the team, there's, turn meter there. I'm not gonna lie, like they're gonna get some pretty high potency and tenacity, like real quick. And the purge definitely comes more naturally here. Whereas like Second Sister, it was a lot like, oh, 40% for this, or unless it was Jedi, like it just was just like, wow, like this, there's just no way this is gonna come on. So yeah, no, I like her lead more here.
yeah. I don't know. I also like the second special with the stacking defense.
Yeah.
That looks nice, especially because 50% getting to the 50. That's gonna be nice. I mean,
Um Definitely here like um she's gonna be tanky. Like, I mean,
yeah.
even like her model is huge. She's already in the game right now. Her model is huge, and you can already tell. I mean, from you've got stacking defense from her special. You've got defense from her unique, the crit avoidance. Um, this team's gonna be, I think, with like all four or all five Inquisitors. This team's gonna be tough to take out. Like, um, it's gonna be tricky.
Yeah. She's even got a little bit of heal over time as well.
So, are you buying? I know Arnold's real big on this. Are you buying that this may overtake the ideal Lord Vader team by having the Inquisitors come in? Um, Especially because you see there's some dot synergy there, there's some heal over time.
Mhm.
Are you buying that like Lord Vader could have a team of all like these dark side unaligned force users instead of Empire?
Uh, I mean, yeah, but you kind of need Lord Vader needs some Empire synergy either way. So, but I mean, they do have Empire synergy. So I don't know. It could be interesting to see a Lord Vader with the Inquisitors, but I don't know. I want to see. This is kind of like Bad Batch. I want to see if there's going to be two or three more, and then I kind of want to see what comes next. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of
At a bare minimum, I would love to see Vader lead tweaked to like have some Inquisitor synergy, just because how the
yeah,
Inquisitors were under regular Vader. I would like to see his lead, especially with the dots and all that. I'd like to see that tweaked to maybe have some purge synergy.
yeah. That'd be nice, but I don't know. I like it. I think it's going to be pretty good. I mean, at best, I mean now it's just going to be a plug and play tank for now.
Which I think really shouldn't be looked at this high because there's not a lot of tanks, or at least tanks that like
Mhm.
taunts or like that have some sort of reactive taunt, because she does at least have a reactive taunt, which is good because there's a lot of tanks in the game that like don't taunt, and it kind of defeats the purpose of being a tank if you don't taunt.
Mace Windu.
Pretty much at like all the Galactic Republic Jedi,
Yes.
like Plo Koon, Mace Windu. um Actually, I think that's, is that all of them? It might be all of them, but yeah, they don't taunt, so it's just like, wow, you're worthless.
Yeah. That or like I also don't like the tanks that you have to like do an ability to get the taunt, kind of like Clone Wars Chewbacca.
Yeah, you like do the taunt, and then it just gets dispelled, and it's just like, and then it's like a long cooldown for the taunt to come back, and it's just like, okay, wow, like great,
Yeah,
thanks for doing nothing.
yeah. You helped me of all of 2 seconds.
Yeah, so I think I like her. I think she looks good. I'm definitely I think the Inquisitor faction is starting to take shape a little bit more. I think it's going to be one of those. I don't think the lead necessarily matters. I think like depending on which Jedi you're going against is the lead you'll do. Unless maybe there's going to be one that's just by and far better that you always run, and maybe that's like the Grand Inquisitor or Darth Vader or something like that. But it looks like their uniques and their own kind of faction synergy is what's going to make them really work.
Yeah. Do you see them adding like a purge trooper or something like that to the game as kind of one of their inquisitorious, or you think they're going to add just like Sith kind of characters?
I don't know. It sounds like with the whole Inquisitorious thing that they might go for more just the Inquisitors themselves. But hey, I'm down for Purge Troopers. They're really cool. Whatever CG wants to give us.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Um, Honestly, I could see this being like a build up to a like a journey god kind of thing, or like not even a journey god, but like a legendary.
Hmm.
You give us the four Inquisitors, and then make the Grand Inquisitor kind of like a grand, like kind of like a BAM event, except it won't really be a journey god. It'll be more of like a legendary event.
Yeah.
So
Now I wonder though, are we going to get another Inquisitor ship? Because they did add the Inquisitorious tag to ships,
it's true.
and they did make sure to call that out in the synergy with the new TIE Interceptor. So I wonder if Ninth Sister is going to get a ship, um, or if that was just a one-off thing. So, um,
Mm, that would be something to be looking into. But we're getting two ships already. I mean, that'd be something they would announce way down the road.
oh, for
But,
sure.
uh,
But I'm excited. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. We'll see the initial whales when they do their testing tomorrow. We'll see how they look. But definitely I'm liking where this is going. I think these characters, I mean they look cool. The animations look great. I think the team's going to be a lot of fun. I think that was it for everything that's happened.
this is kind of a quick podcast. Couldn't be too bad. Real quick, I just want to go back to the road ahead.
Yeah,
The model for the First Order tank looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it.
yeah. I'm
That one
gonna.
looks nice, but
You know what? Let me
uh,
see. I might be able to pull up. Um, I can actually pull up the State of the Galaxy here. And I can show everyone here if they haven't seen it what it looks like.
that and NBA and I were talking before we recorded this one, and honestly, and like I kind of agree with him on this. He was talking. He was like, honestly, he would just love to see just more ships added, and just give.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be like you can just give us like a rebel pilot, or like just like something. Doesn't even have to be incredible. Just give us a couple more fleets, and like honestly, I'm of the camp. Give us these two. Uh, Give us this resistance in this first order tank, and then give us two more resistance ships, and then one more first order ship. And I don't know. That looks like a fleet to me.
So for anyone who's watching the pod, I've got the ships pulled up here. So we've got the first order TIE echelon here. I'm not sure where this is taken. I'm guessing this is at Disney that this is taken. The picture's taken at. Um, Looks super cool. It's like a mix between Kylo's command shuttle and like the TIE Advanced. It's like a mix between that. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie, it's super cool. Um,
kind of has like like it kind of has like the Emperor's shuttle
yeah,
vibe to it. Like the front kind of looks like the Emperor's shuttle.
yeah.
I
And
think I look.
then the Resistance ones are obviously just the ones that all got wrecked by um, the TIE fighters in the opening minutes of The Last Jedi. So um, you know what? At least they're coming to the game. That's all we can ask for because we've been asking for ships for a long time. So it's good that they're finally kind of coming through with that.
Agreed. I guess that's it for us. We don't have much to talk about until they do the road ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know. later tonight is when the phase changes for Light Side Geo, right? Is
Yeah.
that about a few
Hmm.
hours from now? So make sure go listen to our last spot about the camp mission. If you got any questions, make sure to stream those runs.
Yeah. I posted the stream schedule already, so it should be on there. Kind of sucks that it's on a Thursday. I mean,
Hmm.
because everyone's got work, and it's my one day of school where I have a lot of classes. So from like 8 a.m. to like 3 p.m., I'm just like not available. So that sucks, but it shouldn't be too bad. We got a couple EU guys. I think Glarmit has like the whole day off tomorrow, and so he's just gonna. I don't know. I think he's just gonna do like a lot of streams tomorrow. Him and Squiffy should, everyone should get used to their voices for a little while. All right, that's all I got.
Yep, that is all I got. Yeah, just remember do your battles, do if if I can convince you, do conquest. Actually, I'll give you guys an update. I am almost on crate number 3, and I also just unlocked the massive overpowered, the one that you get from the Darth Vader JKL kills. I'm almost at the Darth Revan boss. I'm like on the last challenge path. So I just got to like the last data discs, and I've got one more section before I get to Darth Revan. So we're doing well. Conquest is, I hope to be done with the JMK, or the JMK section by this weekend.
Nice.
So yeah, I guess that'll be it until next time.
Yeah. See
All
you
right.
guys later.